Okay, good evening. I'll show about 1 minute till. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. There we go. Just like that, and transition there. Okay, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. It's another Sunday night, and I hope everyone had a really good Thanksgiving last weekend. And tonight we're going to be talking about more about this radio here. Now, I've already done a video about this radio, and if you haven't seen that, go back and look at it. But it got quite a few views, so you've probably seen that already. We're going to do some testing on it tonight, but there's a couple of quirks with it that I just learned like half hour ago. And so we're going to test the HF side of it, and I'll explain that here in a minute. A couple of quick things. I'm going to go a little bit faster tonight than normal because we've got another live stream upcoming. So the first thing I'll talk about, excuse me, is the Gigaparts Explorer box is still on sale for $20 off, and you can get 5% discount KC5HWB. That's still going. I can't remember if they said they were going to last that until the end of the year or the end of the month, and obviously it's the third of the month now, so they didn't end it in November, and I'm thinking that it may last through like Christmas and New Year's, but I don't know. So, and I don't know how much stock they have, how much inventory they have. They might roll the price back up once the inventory is gone, but you can save $25 now with the 20% or $20 discount and the 5% off. So go check that out. Immediately following this stream, we're going to do our monthly live stream on my Unplugged channel. I've got Hank Strange coming on, and we're going to talk about vans, the van aspect of RVs, vans for overlanding, and a possible van build that I would like to do, and I'm thinking about doing, but I haven't. I'm still doing my research on it, so that's we're going to be talking about that here in about an hour. I've got it scheduled for 8:15 to start at 8:15. We'll actually start it somewhere between 8 and 8:15. We'll end this one right at 8, and I got to reset all my settings, and then we'll go live over there. So check that out. Check that out here if you can. And then, yeah, okay, that's pretty much it there. So I do want to give a shout-out to all the folks in green text in the chat, all the YouTube channel members. I saw Freddie Mac in there pretty early. What's up, man? I saw Andy in there. AA0AM is in there. WB7OUT Tom. Ham Radio Wilderness with Frank is in there. Let's see who else. N5SKT is in there. Phil, W0HP is in there. And really appreciate you guys joining the live stream and supporting the channel the way that you do. And, of course, I see Smoke Signals. Izzo's in the chat. I saw him early on in there, too. And Smoking Apes in the chat, which should tell you who's actually in the chat with me tonight. Oh, you guys are muted. Hold on. There we go. Okay. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Howdy, howdy.
What's going on there, Jason? How are you tonight?
Oh, man. You know what? It's actually kind of warm in the shack tonight.
Oh, that's unusual for this time of year.
73 degrees outside, according to my phone earlier.
Ooh,
and I'm like, what
nice.
is that about? I'm like, give me a break. So
nice.
It's December, and it gets up to 70 degrees, so I don't know. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So, yeah. So this... So Ed, I hit up Ape this morning, and I'm like, dude, I kind of decided this at the last minute. Would you like to come on and help me kind of go through this on the on the TinySA? And he was gracious enough to join me. So you guys thank him because it was very last minute for him. But yeah, so I appreciate you being here, Ape.
No worries. So sorry about the mix up with the dates earlier.
That's all right. That's not a problem. It's all good. We got it worked out. So so this guy right here. And we're going to set, this is the Ultra, and I did, oh, it's underneath here. So my Ultra came in a smaller box than this is the TinySA, and this is the TinySA Ultra. Now that one's a taller box this way. But anyway, so that's the original TinySA I've got, and here's the difference in size, because Ape was on the live stream, about a month ago?
Yeah, I think so.
And we did some testing of a Fang and a Yaesu radio with that, so that's the difference in size there. So we did that video, and one of the guys on Amazon reached out to me. He's like, I'm going to send you an Ultra. I'm like, okay. So
yeah, the thing about the Ultras is that there are no known clones out there. So there are of the smaller one. The Chinese haven't caught up with the Ultra yet.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, yeah, somebody from Amazon, he was like, "Hey, I've got this. Can you share the link?" So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So the link you see in the description of this video to the TinySA Ultra on Amazon is from that company. So that's what we got.
What is the difference between the Ultra and Tiny?
The Tiny goes up to about 900 megahertz that is split between 2 input ports. So most of the time when you see folks doing these tests, they're only testing one harmonic. They're not testing the third, which is usually the one that is most troublesome. And the other one is that on the Ultra, if you enable Ultra mode, I think it goes up to 5.1 gigahertz now. It goes super duper high.
I was thinking 3.5, but I don't remember it. It may
the latest firmware boosted even higher. So.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yes, if you're in the market to buy one, you're much better off getting the Ultra.
They're not that much more, honestly.
No.
So yeah, and Jeff makes a good point here in the chat. RNL has a great price on the Ultra. So if you don't want to buy from Amazon, you want to buy from a ham radio retailer. RNL sent me my TinySA, but then this guy, the Seesii company on that Frank just shared, they sent me the Ultra. So yeah, but yeah, RNL has a full line of TinySAs, Nano VNAs, and all that kind of good stuff. He does a really good job of stocking those.
Yeah, and he's one of the preferred sellers from the designer. Now, I don't know if you say Seesii or Seesii or whatever.
I don't know.
I've done plenty of work with them, and they have solid products too.
Okay, good. All right, so this guy, we're going to go through the 2 or 3 steps to set this thing up real quick. This one came with, and maybe my other one did too, and I just didn't notice it. This one came with an actual stylus. It still has the guitar pick looking thing, which I don't really like, but this one came with an actual stylus. There it is in the big camera. There it is in the little camera right there. So, switch over to the big camera. So this guy right here. So that's a lot easier to use in my book.
Yeah, the guitar pick sucks.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. All right, so take us through the steps about setting this thing up again, Abe.
So you want to connect the cables like we did before. Use the cables to connect the 2 ports together. That's the first step.
Okay. I'm gonna.
And you're gonna do this to eventually tune it. I forgot who I was with. They had a TinySA, and it was interesting to watch them use it. Do you have to tune it every time you use it, or is this a first operation procedure?
It's a first operation procedure. Now, if you do a factory reset on it or firmware upgrade, you're gonna need to recal.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Got it.
All right, and then so in the menu, you want to go to config, and then under that you'll have self-test.
Yep.
Jeff's saying, break out the Palm Pilot. I got this white one here. I don't even know where it came from.
There you go.
But it's easier to see. You know what I mean? Like, and I got bad eyes, so the black one gets lost in the sauce.
So when I'm drawing, I got my touch magnet side of the desk where I'll never find it.
That looks like it's with a Surface Pro stylus.
This was the Surface Pro 3 stylus, which for some reason it stopped working on my stylus now, so I gotta use my finger.
I lost the one for my Samsung tablet, and then bought another one. They were $40 each, and then I found the first one that I lost.
Now you got 2.
But man, I tell you, the pen, the stylus for the iPads is $99.
Oh, that's
wow.
That's Apple for you.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you. That's true.
You stay away from those fruit products if you want quality.
I don't know what it's doing here, but it looks like it's.
Do you have a top-down view that we could? Oh, never mind. I looked over and I can see it here.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
let me pull that up.
I'm used to you feeding back your video.
Yeah. I'm not doing that right now.
Question from Don here. How long does the battery last?
On the TinySA or on the radio?
Well, the TinySA, I've never had it die because I just charge it up. Like most of the time when I use it, I have it hooked to the computer anyway. But I've never been like, let me turn this on and fire up the stopwatch. Not that Don talks like that, but I've just never done it.
So that has a built-in battery then. You don't have to.
It does. Yes.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And it's USB-C chargeable. I plugged both the radio battery and the TinySA in a couple hours ago to make sure everything was charged up for the stream tonight. But That TinySA, after I charged it about a month ago when Ape and I were doing that last video, I haven't charged it since then, and I kicked it on today just to see if it's still turned on, and it does. So it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this screen here, it doesn't look like it's going through. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Touch screen to continue. If I would read it, because they were all blue turning green, and then the last one never turned green, so it just. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
Don
it looks
clarifies says
there we
SA,
go.
so I think we covered that.
So
Thanks
now
for
you
the
want to go
question.
into config and then pick level cal, and that'll do the level calibration.
Level cal. Okay. And then
That should go pretty quick too.
it's giving me a menu: calibrate 100 kilohertz to 5.3 gigahertz, calibrate above, or reset. So I guess I want to do the 100 to 5.3.
Yeah, which is more than enough.
Oh,
I mean, because when you're talking harmonics, like on 20 meters, for example, if that's what we're going to test,
right?
You know, they only go up to a couple hundred megs.
Yeah. We're not gonna. Okay, it says calibration busy.
It should go pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I can change you guys to an overhead view. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Hold on. Tell me if that's the overhead.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now you can see the overhead.
Sure can.
Cool.
Yeah, Frank, watch the.
I got the chat as always.
Watch the chat. Yeah, thank you.
If y'all have any questions, I'll go ahead and note them, and if they feed into conversation nicely, I'll do it then, or we'll do a lightning round at the close to the end of the stream, and we'll power through all of them.
Yeah, for us, the overhead's upside down. I don't know if it's like that on the stream, but
no, it's right side up on the stream.
It's probably goofy Zoom doing that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, signal level incorrect. Check cable between connectors and touch screen to continue. So the cable's nice and tight.
Reseat them and try again.
I've got a second cable here, and I've got the same two cables that I had with my old one too. So, nope.
It's in config and then it's level cal.
Yeah, I'm in config now. Level cal. That calibrate. Okay, try it again. If not, I'll change the cable. That's fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, these things don't come with the best quality cables.
Yeah. DE2 TRF. I appreciate you. I appreciate you thinking I speak German, but I don't, buddy. I'm sorry.
Does DE2 speak German in there?
Well, he's speaking German in there. Yeah.
Let's pull up a translate. Now you got me curious.
I can do the Google Translate thing, but I'm kind of in the middle of something else right now. So.
Yeah, the problem for me is I can speak German, but I can't read it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he says, "Hi, Ham 2.0, cool video. I share it like it to 73D DE2 TRF Germany. I love USA OM videos."
Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, buddy.
And the bad English is, I'm going to give it to Google.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, Google Translate. Google Translate's not that. Okay.
Yeah, D2 is named Gunther, I believe. Okay. So B Gates Gunther.
Okay. Calibration complete. Touch screen to continue. All right, we're good to go. That one's done.
All right. So now we need to connect the antenna output from. How do you say the name of that radio?
I call it Guohetec, but I'm sure that's wrong. The PMR.
Well, it's funny because when you said you were testing the whatever radio PMR, I was like, isn't that like the British?
It is
GMRS.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that came on my first video and said that, and I'm like, I didn't name the thing, man. That's just what its model number is. It is. It's kind of a goofy model number. You want to connect the antenna of the radio to the RF side.
Yeah, the RF side.
Okay.
While you're doing that, it's funny. Other Andy saying you can order beer in German. I can. So like when I go to when I go to Disney every year, that's the only time I get to speak German to the folks at Epcot. And I'm like, ich möchte ein Bier haben, bitte, und ein Brezel, because they have the giant pretzels. So I get a beer and a pretzel when I'm there.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
45 says now we got to translate tank into English.
Ooh. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Okay, so one thing real quick that I noticed right as I was setting up for the stream, and I should have noticed this before, but I didn't. So on the top of this radio has a antenna port for, I think it goes 1 to 74 megahertz, I think is what it is, or 0.1 to 74. That's this one here. It's a BNC connector. This one on the top that goes 74 to 520 megahertz right here. This looks like a BNC port, but it's got threads around it. So it's more like a it's like a mini
it's probably like mini UHF.
Mini UHF, I think. Yeah. Because it looks from looking at it from the top down, it looks like a BNC. So I tried to put the BNC connector on it, and it doesn't fit because the BNCs are not threaded, obviously. So I think that's a mini UHF port. So I'm going to have to get in, and I don't have a mini UHF adapter. So in other words, we're not going to be able to test the VHF-UHF output today. We're just going to have to stick to HF.
I think you're right. I Googled it, and it looks like a mini with the threaded.
Okay. So, well, see, I went into the manual, and that's what I had. I had this up earlier. Let's see if I go. No, yeah, right here. This right here tells me the output of the radio, and it just says UV segment antenna interface, frequency 74 to 512. It doesn't tell me what the connector is. I could probably dig through the manual. It's 42 pages and find it, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Yeah, Don's saying it's the same as the Sun SDR, so I do have the adapters because I had to get them for my Sun SDR.
A mini UHF?
Yeah. They're like $8 on Amazon.
So is the other HF port BNC?
What's that?
Is the other
the HF port is BNC? Yes.
Why did they put two different ones on there?
I don't know. I thought,
or
that
they
was
wanted
to
force you to acknowledge that there's a difference.
That's possible. I mean that's possible, but. Yeah, so I had to kind of
holy adapters.
Yeah, I had to Frankenstein that because I didn't have a BNC to SMA mail, or a BNC mail to SMA mail, so I had to kind of Frankenstein this here a little bit.
Yeah, so I've had a couple people ask me to test that radio out, and I was like, I'm not spending $600 on that radio.
Right.
So I figured Jason will send me that one to test out, and if you want to see that, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat, put a little extra pressure.
I would do that if I wasn't sending this to someone else already. So.
Who are you sending it to?
I'm sending it because okay. So long story short, this radio is supposed to do DMR. It has if you go into the menu, if you watch my first video, it does 11 meters. They call it I think they call it CB, 27 megahertz. It does DMR. And it has an APRS feature in there. So I was talking to the company emailed me after I put out my first video, and they're like, "Hey, we loved your video. What you said you were going to do some more. What other videos are you planning to do with it?" And I was like, "Well, I want to do a DMR and APRS. I want to do take it in the field, do some POTA with it, and et cetera, this kind of thing." And they emailed back. They said, "Oh, well, you don't have the DMR module installed." And I'm like, "Well, that's a little bit hokey because it's in the menu. So if you have to get," and I said, "Well, can you send me the module? I'll install it." They're like, "No, we don't want to do that because it takes quite a bit of soldering." So I don't know if it actually takes quite a bit of soldering and they're just trying to, or if they're just like, "Oh, you just got to do a pin and two here," and they don't understand how hams work, because I can do a little bit of soldering.
Hey, you need your attenuator in line.
This right here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, can I send this radio back to you to get the DMR? I said, because I do a lot of DMR videos. And they said, go ahead and tell me, Abe, what's next?
Did that ship from the motherland, or?
It did.
No, yeah. You need the attenuator in line with the antenna output and going into the SA.
I need it here?
Yeah, there or coming out of the radio. Either one's fine.
Okay, I thought I needed the attenuator coming out of the SA. Okay,
it's got to be on the in the transmission line where we're going to send a signal.
Okay, and then what comes out of the calibrate side of the SA?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me reconfigure this then. So I just remembered it wrong, I guess. So anyway, so they said they wrote back to me. And they said, "I'll tell you what, we'll send you another one with a module installed." I said, "Okay," and you can just send this one to another place or another. I think they said another partner or something, some kind of weird term like that.
Right.
In the United States. And I said, "Okay, sure, yeah. Who do you want me to send it to?" And guess whose address they sent me?
I don't know. Josh.
They're like, partner? "Send it." His name is Josh Nass, and here's his address. I'm like, holy crap. Okay,
yeah, I've heard of him.
I've heard of him. Yeah, I've heard of him. So no, that's not right.
You should have pulled the "who's that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who? I'm not sure who you're talking about.
You might have to use that other cable coming out of the
That, yeah. Oh, you know what? That'll make it longer, even better. So, okay, good. I've got it. It comes with a barrel adapter, but I don't need it. So that's good. Yeah. So I'm going to send this one to Josh when I'm done with it. And I told him I was making this video today, or I told him I was making a second video, which this spectrum analyzer test is what I wanted to do. And then I'm going to send this one to Josh, and they're sending me one with a DMR module installed. So I'm really looking forward to trying the DMR side of it.
So
I'm assuming that's a QRP radio, right?
It's 20 watts.
Okay, well, we don't want to set it that high.
Okay.
We probably could get away with 10, but 5 is probably safest.
Okay.
Is that the right port? I thought the port is plugged in right now is the tuning signal generation port.
It says RF right here.
Okay.
And this says calibrate right here.
All right.
Yeah, you want to be in the RF port.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go in here and yeah, I got it in the AF. Okay, so let's go. I gotta figure out how to do turn the power down. Yeah, see, okay, so right here, you might not be able to see that because it might be a little washed out in the screen, but DMR is the first thing on the top of the menu. When you long press the menu, you get DMR, and then the one at the bottom left is APRS.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool that if it could do those.
Right, and then the one in the middle is frequency hopping spread spectrum, FHSS.
Oh,
I don't know what it does with that. So
you gave you a radio that doesn't have DMR, but it has all the DMR options showing on the menu.
Right. Yeah,
Does
I thought
that make sense?
I thought that was a little strange myself, but yes. Okay. Come on. I don't know where the power output is, but
yeah, Mike, you're right. That does look like it's a the reverse polarity. Looks like it's a female on the radio.
Okay. The mode 2, no, not that. Okay.
So this is supposed to be the I guess the 705 competitor out of China, right?
So I guess, yeah, a little bit. Or I'm gonna have to look in the manual to figure out how to turn the power down, because I have no idea.
It's supposed to be a competitor, and is that bulky?
I
don't
really think that's what they're going for. They're going for more of like the man pack portable thing.
Yeah, because you would drop that into like a pack that
right,
like a bucket pack, right?
Yeah, or like a tech prepper type man pack or something like that. So power. Let's do this. Okay.
But with that battery, man, it probably would be able to transmit longer because that's a honking battery on back. Todd says a G90 alternative. I can believe that.
Maybe a G90, yeah. But that might be a little bit. Power adjustment is the PA button. PA is right here. All right, let's get out of that menu.
Those buttons look awful close together, too. My fat fingers would have problems. Maybe use a stylus to push them.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they definitely do that. There's not an exit button on here either.
Digital Dreamer? I don't know, man. My G90 is pretty awesome.
I think for $400, the G90 is a pretty good deal.
It's a pretty good, yeah.
It's a great starter radio, but however, you need to buy it with your eyes open, knowing it's only 20 watts off the bat.
Yes.
Well, the other one is if you want to do any digital modes, getting audio in and out of that thing's a little bit of a pain in the hind end.
Okay. I don't know how to get out of the menu. Let's see. Reboot.
And when in doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a place in there to put my call sign in. I haven't done that yet either.
Tim, does it have TikTok installed natively?
I wish. Okay, yeah. Okay, so PA, power adjustment. That's this little button here. It's up at 20 watts now. You want it at 5, Ape?
Yeah, I do it at 5.
5? Okay, good. We'll do that. All right, beautiful. And I need to go to change. And yeah, if you didn't see my other video, there's a band button here. And it's on 144 now, but above 144 is CB. That's the one that's highlighted there. I know it's washed out in the screen.
I wonder what the FCC says about that.
I'm not sure. I have not asked them.
I don't understand why can't you sell radios that are multi licensed.
It's
As
dumb.
long as you have the license and the rights, who cares?
Right.
In my opinion. I do have a question while you're messing with the radio here.
Yep.
Don is asking, is the case plastic or metal?
It is. It is metal. Feels like a V71 or an FTM 300 type case, type metal. How do you hit enter, for crying out loud? I thought you hit enter by pushing this button down, but that's not working. Menu. Okay, there it is. Okay, there's 14.300 or 14.0 rather. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to 14.2. Okay, we're at 14.2 right there. If you guys can see that.
Yep.
And we need to go to sideband has no carrier, so we don't want to do sideband. So what do you suggest?
If it has a RIDI mode that
Yeah.
will key when you press the hand mic, that's usually that's the way I typically do it. If not, you could do AM.
There's AM, wide FM, RTU. I don't know what that is. SDR, DMR. Let's do the. It doesn't go well. It's wide FM. We can do FM on 20 meters. Go figure. I mean, it's only 5 watts.
You key it up and see if it does it.
Yeah. Let's see. There's the microphone there. Transmit disable. Okay, so no, it does not do it. RTU. I wonder what that is. Transmit disable. Okay. I don't know. There's a mode called SDR. I still don't know what that is.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
So you can turn on and off the SDR-ness of the radio?
I guess. AM.
Mode 1. It's radio works. Mode 2, the radio doesn't.
It's still saying transmit disabled on 14.200. What the hell? On AM. Transmit. Okay. It's not liking that at all. Huh.
Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't buy one of those.
It's and a lot of the comments I got in the original video were, "Hey, cool radio, poor execution," and I'm like, yeah, I can. It's neat, but I mean, it obviously needs a few updates.
That's about $600, right?
635 and 18 cents.
Yeah,
on sale right now.
Yep.
And there you go.
In AliExpress.
Just in case.
By the way, the website you linked is sold out.
Well, there you go. That's the transmit is an extra module 45 out of sense.
No, right?
Who knew? Oh boy. Okay, so what can we do here? That's upper side. See, it won't even transmit on upper sideband. It says transmit disabled.
Is it in the right mode? Is it in a CB mode since it has CB on there? Do you have to tell it?
CB is a band, not a mode. So yeah, you'd have to go to the CB
well,
band.
Do you have to tell it to be on the amateur radio bands? Like
no.
Some of the newer radios, you can buy them and get them on part 97. But then you want to use them on part 95, you have to tell it to be on part 95, and then it won't transmit in the amateur bands.
Yeah, that's not. This thing's pretty much full open. Let's see.
Yeah, I'd imagine it is. Well, right now it looks like it's full closed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Nope, it's not working either. Well,
take a look at that manual and see if it has a transmit instructions.
Transmit.
Straight stream, guys.
I know it. Yeah.
Now, to be honest, this actually is a good screen because someone I bet will have to get this radio and have this exact problem. Don, our Don N5SKT, the radio is $750 with all the options included, GPRS and DMR.
Interesting.
$750, man. Can they give us 50 watts?
True. It does do a lot of stuff, but I don't know.
$750 though, plus DMR, that I could see that. I can see that for a radio.
Right.
And DMR, HF, and UHF, VHF. I think that is almost a complete package in itself.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
You got the link to this radio in the chat.
No, it's in the description of the video.
Yeah. I also linked it into the chat above here.
Okay.
But
Okay, good.
do you want it? I could throw it into our
I got it.
chat.
I'm taking a look at it.
Let's see. Okay. SPO.
Do they offer the manual on their website?
Yeah,
Yes.
So I'm checking now.
Yeah, that's where I showed it here a second ago. Why is it still there?
On that sales site, they have the manual.
Oh, nice. FM stud. Okay.
Maybe under specifications or something.
They need an exit button to exit out of whatever menu you're in. FM display. Nope.
ThinkPad mode and rebuild saying his came with a paper manual.
Mine did not come with a paper manual. Mine did. When I did my first video, I said it didn't come with a manual at all. What I didn't say is it came with a USB drive. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not putting that in my computer. I'll just look up the manual online. So it does have a USB-A drive with it, but I'm like, yeah, I don't really think I want to do that. All right. Transmit TX disable. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? Let's try another band. That was 20 meters.
You sure what you were in band, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, 14.200.
That's extra, but yes.
No, it's not. Or, well, okay, yeah, you're right, it is. 14.200.
All right, it says launch operation factory lock. TX opening method. Ready?
Yes.
Long press of menu, and then use arrow keys to pick set.
Yep. I was in there a second ago. Okay, go ahead.
And then tap menu again. Just tap it. And then find TXEN.
Yep.
Then use the left arrow key to select on.
Okay.
And long press menu to exit.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
It's probably locked from them because of the regions, or you could probably change it to different regions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go back to 20 meters. Okay. And let's go ahead and go, because Frank's right. That is the extra portion. Let's go to 250.
Man, okay. Those words just filled me up with happiness.
I know. Sometimes I'll say it.
It does sound like a cheat code.
It does. Okay, 14.250 on AM.
Yeah, it's doing something. Yeah, I saw the SA jump. So, all right, on the TinySA, you want to go to the main menu and then go to measure.
Main menu and measure. Measure. Okay. Yep.
And then under there, you should see harmonic.
Yep.
And it's going to ask you for the frequency. So type in whatever frequency the radio is tuned to.
In megahertz?
Yeah.
14.250.
And then hit the M.
The M. Okay. All right. It went back to the same screen here.
And do it again.
14.50. M, like Mike?
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
All right, now what you want to do is you want to go back into the menu, the main menu, and then there should be an option called level.
Level, yes.
So pick that. And then under level, you should have something that says external gain, like GN, I think is what it is.
EXT gain, it's set at 0.0 dB.
Yeah, so hit that. And then you want to do -40 times 1.
Times 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, when you key up, you should get a table at the top that's going to show you all of the frequencies that it's seeing.
Oh yeah.
So give it a second or two to settle down, and all of them should be 40 dB below. Let me just double check. It's 40. I think actually it's 43 on HF.
I'm getting one at 56 and one at like 60.
Yeah, so it's clean on this should say like negative 56 dBc.
On at like 27 to 28 megahertz at negative 55 to it's jumping between 54 and 55 dBc.
Yeah, it's clean.
And then at 1403, which is set to 14.25, it's at 40 dBm.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So it's
and there's a third one that keeps popping up and down, but it's
yeah, I
kind of
wouldn't
going
worry
away
about it.
now. Wow, I'm impressed.
I'll tell you what, put that Joker on 30 meters because that's where they usually have trouble.
Okay, we can do that. I thought this was going to be dirty. I told Ape earlier, I was like, I'm sure this is going to be dirty as hell.
Well, we're
But,
going to test
hey,
it. We're going to test it
gonna
once you
test
get
it,
the
yeah.
adapter in because
Why-
I bet you
Yeah.
Why
on,
is 30 usually a problematic band?
because what they'll do is they'll share bandpass filters, or I'm sorry, low pass filters for 30 meters with either 20 or 40. And so that's one that usually is almost guaranteed to be bad is 30. Because they would have to put an extra set of bandpass filters in there. I'm sorry, low pass filters in there. So it's like 10 125.
125. Okay, I don't have the 30 meter band memorized.
FPE Labs 30 might not be included. Check your modules.
No, it's in here.
Jim?
It's in here.
I know.
Okay, and now we need to change this on the TinySA too, don't we?
Yeah, so you want to, at the main menu, you want to go measure harmonic and then put the new frequency in.
10.125 M.
Yep. And then you got to go back into the level cal and set the external gain again. Not level cal, just level.
Level?
Yep.
External gain?
Yep. And then negative 40.
Times 1?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're at 125 here. Oh my gosh. Didn't like that. Okay. Okay.
Now your peak, what is that? So the fundamental, which is the frequency in the top left-hand corner, what is that saying from a dB standpoint?
It's jumping between like negative 22 and 13.
Let's check your level cal because that's super low, right? So like 5 watts should be about 37 dBm.
Okay. All right. So level and cal.
No, I'm sorry, level and then external gain again.
External gain. Yeah. Well, it set. Okay. Well, I'll set it again. Or no, I'm sorry.
You want to do negative 40.
Negative 4. That's it says negative 40 under external gain right now.
Oh, it does.
Negative 40.0 dB. Yes.
Yeah, you might need to change the mode to CW.
Okay, I can do that. That makes sense for 30 meters. Actually, it's on CW. That's why we heard the beep. CWR. And we do CWR and CWL are the two modes that it'll do.
Yeah, Scott's saying the power might be band specific, but I got to tell you, Scott, 5 watts, it should be able to do 5 watts CW, right?
No, it's still on 5 watts.
I mean, some of these guys are doing CW over 100 watts.
Yeah. So
give it a hit and see what it does.
Well, it's right now it's saying up at the top left, it says it's at like 17. It's jumping between like 17 and 30 megahertz at negative 47, 48 dB.
Yeah, that's not. So I don't know if it's the radio that we have configured wrong or if the radio doesn't put out the right power on 30.
You turn it up? Try high power? Higher
Yeah,
power?
you could hook up you still got 20 minutes. You could hook up a SWR power meter and see if it's putting it out.
Oh, yeah, if it's putting out any power at all.
It looks like the radio is going into transmit.
The radio says that it's transmitting. Because it's
Do we have a?
It says VSW. It does say VSWR high.
Is the dummy load eating it all and not passing some through?
Well, that's a little warm. That attenuator's a little bit warm.
Yeah, but it maybe give the attenuator a couple minutes to settle down, but it should be fine. The attenuator's 50 ohm, and so is the TinySA, so it shouldn't have high SWR.
No, it should be. Yeah, should be.
I was just wondering if it was eating up the signal.
Mike, it pains me to say, but MRD might be right. He says you're set to paddle, not straight key.
I don't know where that setting is in here.
Let me see if I can find it.
Well, let's just try. Let's try AM. Let's just go to different mode.
It's 30 at that frequency CW only, right?
30 is, yeah, but I kind of doubt. Well, let's see if this radio will let me transmit on 30 meters at AM.
CW count page 18.
Yeah, it still lets you, but it still says SWR is high. Mode.
Yeah, you gotta go in and you have to set the key mode.
Where's that?
It's gonna be a process.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can just try like I can go to wide FM.
We could go to 15 meters because that's another one that they typically have trouble with.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah, because it seemed to work on 20 meters, but 30 meters it's not liking 30 meters. Band 21 megahertz.
And for 15 meters, just do 21,225.
225. Okay, it's right now it's set on the FT8 frequency.
They'll love that. Just do it.
2.
And also the comment, we're not actually transmitting over an antenna, so we don't really have to match modes because it's all being eaten right now, right?
Yeah. Now, if you had something sensitive sitting right next to it, it might pick it up.
Yeah, I was just saying that even though we might be on the right mode, it shouldn't really matter because we should be transmitting, or the TinySA Ultra is acting like a dummy load with the attenuator.
Right. It does still say VSWR high when keying up 21.225 on AM mode. So it doesn't actually act like the it's probably hard to see in the screen, but what it's doing here is the power meter will go full red, like full power for a split second, and then it'll drop and it'll say high SWR. So I think the radio is saving itself from being on a high SWR.
Yeah, it's folding back. Do you have a dummy load that you can take the attenuator off and just transmit into a dummy load and see what it does?
Let's see if I've got one here with me.
What are you chuckling at?
I'm laughing at Digital Dreamer. He said he was going to offer to buy it, but now he's still not.
Oh yeah, he emailed me wanting to buy it a while back. All right, let's see. Get this to
adapters.
Actually, I can take all the adapters off now.
Ooh, yay!
Could be a bad adapter.
It could be that one cable, because one of those cables was acting goofy when we did
That's true. That's true also, yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Dummy load. It's working fine on a dummy load. All right, let's trade the cable out, because you're right, it was acting goofy.
Well, trade the cable out that's coming from the TinySA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got another one right here. The TinySA comes with 2 of these. And I've actually got the 2 cables for my original TinySA as well, that we could try that if we wanted to. So yeah, here's the cable coming off of what we were just using. That's this one right here. So I'm going to throw it over there. This is the second cable that came off the TinySA.
Yeah, and if this works, get the scissors and cut that other one in half.
That's right. Yeah, no doubt.
That's funny you say that because I kept grabbing the cable. I was like, that was bad. Bah!
Yeah, once something is bad, like an adapter or something, I put it right in the trash.
Oh, yeah. That way you don't grab it by mistake in the future. Sheesh. Hey, this is what ham radio is about, guys. Experimentation. Okay. All right, let's try that now. Now it still says high SWR. I wonder if this adapter I have in the middle of this sucker is just too much for it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Is the attenuator cooled down by now?
It's not hot. Now,
Go back to
it's
go
pretty
back
cool.
to 20 meters and see, because we were fine on 20.
We were fine
Yeah.
on 20 meters. Yeah, we were. Band.
I believe we just answered that, Chuck. Yes, it does come with two cables.
Two what? Yeah, it does.
Yep, looks like it's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, it still says high SWR. It wasn't saying that a minute ago. It wasn't saying that on 20 meters originally.
No, for sure
Mhm.
wasn't.
All right, well, something's bad in that setup, I guess. So what I think I'll probably do is find a cable that actually has BNC to the correct SMA to go, well, to SMA male to go into the attenuator here instead of going through this contraption here, because this is probably where my breakdown is right here, I would guess.
How many adapters is that? 4?
This is the cable right here, so that's a barrel connector, 1, 2, 3. It's 3. Yeah. So.
Oh, is that another barrel also?
This is a barrel and this is a barrel.
Yeah.
Everything's tight, right? All the connectors are tight.
Let me make sure. That one's good. That one's good. That one was a little loose right there. This SMA one was a little loose. Still says it. Nope. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, interesting. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it's giving me high SWR, so there's probably a breakdown. And like we said, we put it on the dummy load and it's fine. So
Yeah,
there's a breakdown somewhere between here and here.
Mike is UK Mike is pointing at the attenuator. You killed the attenuator.
I don't think it's. I bet it's the adapters. This attenuator worked fine a couple weeks ago when we did the other video.
Yeah, so I've seen the attenuators go bad over time, but what happens is that they stop attenuating generally. They don't change. They wouldn't change impedance level.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it's showing, if it's a high SWR, it's not seeing 50 ohms. So, yeah, I'm gonna guess it's in here somewhere.
Well, what you could do to test it is if you could hook the dummy load, like unscrew the cable from the TinySA. You'd have to have the adapter and then screw that into the dummy load. Right, so that way you're testing your whole transmission line.
Okay, so I'm not following what you're saying here.
So if you unscrew the cable from the TinySA at the TinySA port,
yeah,
and if you can connect that to if you have the adapter to connect that to your dummy load.
No, I don't have that. Well, wait a minute. Do I? No, I don't. I don't have that here with me. No, I've got I do have an adapter inside, but Kyle's tackle box that I keep all my adapters in now, it's where I got these things out of. But it's in the house. It's not in here. So I guess I could do that, and it would
tell you
right. That would tell me if the problem's in this cable, because we know it works with the dummy load. That's true.
Right.
Let's see. I don't think I have. That does make sense. No, I don't have one right here with me. And we've only got about 10 minutes left, so.
Yeah, we'll just wait until you get the other adapter, and then we'll do it again.
Might as well. Okay. Well, okay. Unfortunately, that didn't work. But
do you have your other TinySA around?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Let's get that one hooked up and see.
You want to just try changing out the complete SA?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that I have. Come on. All right.
You might have to call Seesii and say, son.
Right, you're right. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, and just key out. We just to test the input impedance. We don't need to configure anything.
Right. It goes into low port, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. High SWR.
Yeah, so it's either the radio or that transmission line.
It shouldn't be the radio because it worked with the dummy load.
I would agree.
So yeah, it's got to be this. It's got to be this contraption I've put in here. So I thought that I had an adapter for the BNC to SMA, but it's the wrong sex BNC. I have the other sex BNC to SMA, but I don't have that one for that.
You just need to go on Amazon and order a shitload, for lack of a better word, of adapters.
Right. Well, I've got a bunch of adapters. I mean, I just shoot, and yeah, I'm gonna have to get a mini UHF for that one too. But
yeah, I've got a boatload of adapters, but I can never find the one I need.
That's exactly how I am. That's exactly how I am. I never can find the one that I need. I've got a bunch of them, but guess what? It's always the one that you don't have, which is the one you need. So anyway, okay. Well, you know what? That's okay. I will continue to experiment with this and see how that goes, because I'm really curious to see. So our first test was successful, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did a 20-meter test, and there was no harmonic. There was one harmonic on it, and it was like -60, I think, which is great. Anything below -40 is beautiful. I expected this thing to be like spiked everywhere, -5 dB here,
yeah,
-10 dB there.
It to be pretty bad.
I'm like, oh my god! But hey, I'm pretty impressed with that. So test successful as far as I'm concerned, and then before our equipment failed. But that's what ham radio is all about.
Here's a question from Colin.
Okay.
Does it need a dummy load or something else in the other port? Could be a new question. He doesn't have the TinySA name.
The top port is an output port only, and so it's for signal generation. They're isolated.
That's why I have Ape on here to answer those questions. So yeah, you know, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the SA acts as a signal capture device or a dummy load to measure your output, whatever you're doing with it. So yeah, no, you don't need that. Put that in there too. But all right, so we're gonna do a follow-up video with that, and I'm gonna go order some. In fact, you know what? This a lot of my adapters came from AmericanRadioSupply.com. I really like the quality of adapters they have, but that's not this barrel connector, but this guy right here. Unscrew it right here. This SO239 to BNC, that came from AmericanRadioSupply.com. They got some really good cables and
yeah, they're a good vendor, and it's always good to support the little guys, right?
Right. Yeah. So, and I've had some adapters that I got from Amazon go bad in the past, and I'm like, I'm a little bit leery about using adapters. But if you buy like a package of 3 or 5, then most likely they're all going to be good, except for maybe one. You just throw the one away, and you've still got 2 or 3 left, so it's okay.
I'm going to answer this question. I've seen it in the comments a couple times now.
Okay.
The attenuator is directional. Are we sure it was in the right direction?
It's not directional. We discussed that in the last video.
Yeah, so I've seen them that work. They sometimes they'll come with a sticker on them that's saying that they're directional, and I've tested all the ones that I've got, and they work bidirectionally. So you should be fine. And even if you so Joe Brett had one that went bad, T.O. had one that went bad, and then I had one that went bad, and theirs stopped attenuating. Mine, the attenuation level dropped 3 dB or half power. So I have never seen one change its input impedance, but who knows, right? So
I guess anything's possible, but
yeah,
okay, yeah, but yeah, we actually did discuss that in the last live stream. We did the first live stream that I did with the TinySA, because I thought it was unidirectional as well, but apparently it's not. It's not supposed to be anyway. So there you go.
So Gray Man is asking if we're using tuned cables for the TinySA. We're using the cables that came with the TinySA.
Right. They certainly should be tuned.
Right.
They came with it. So, yep. Sure are.
We'll see you next time, Guohetec.
Right. Guohetec. It reminds me of the word heretic. Guohetec. Be a rebellious demonic radio for the ham
Right.
radio world.
Great Man Poet is asking, were we using the tune cables for the TinySA?
That's what Ape just said, Frank.
I'm
Ape-
He was busy counting
Ape-
those envelopes he bought earlier.
It was a new
Yeah.
question. I thought it.
No, he just read that. Busy counting those envelopes. All right. Well, there we go. Okay, guys. Hey, thanks for joining. It's fun to try to experiment with this stuff. I really do enjoy that. And like I said, it was kind of successful because the first time we keyed up 20 meters after we got the transmit enabled, it worked, and
Yeah.
the signal looked beautiful on 20 meters AM. So I will fix my adapter problem and probably do another short video, probably not another live stream, but I will fix my adapter problem and do some more experimenting with this on multiple bands and get a mini UHF port as well, so I can test the 2 meter 440 output of it, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, Izzo, welcome to the show, Frank.
I slipped one time. Plus, I got a Frank was right out of this show. So
You did get a Frank was right. You know, you don't get that every show, but you did get that today. So, all right, guys, we're gonna shut this down, and like I said at the beginning, for those of you who weren't here, because I know there's a lot more watching now, we are gonna go over to my other channel. I'll go ahead and share this link in the chat real quick, and we're going to talk about van life with Hank Strange over there.
Ooh.
So I'm doing live streams on my new channel once a month. We had Tio on last month. I got Hank on tonight, and then we'll set up for something for January here in a few weeks. But you guys go over there if that sort of thing interests you, RV life, van life, that kind of thing. Please join us over there. The link is in the chat. So, Ape, thanks for joining me last minute, man. Always
Anytime,
good to have
man.
you.
Yep.
Great. Thanks for the help, and it was great to bounce the ideas off you tonight, because I know that you know the stuff, this TinySA stuff, at least better than I do. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks, man. Appreciate it, Frank.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here, and y'all join us on the other channel if you want.
And
Cool.
go
Take
buy
care,
my
guys.
Tank Radio coins.
That's right. All right, guys. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll be live over there. 73.
Take care, guys.
Bye.